Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me from outside of the Chinnaswamy Stadium is Bharat Ramraj from Bangalore and Athro as well. We're going to be talking about, of course, the RCB versus DC game, but the headlines that have captured all newspapers, all social media, and digital channels is, of course, MS Dhoni coming back as skipper for the Chennai Super Kings. Ruturaj Gaikwad has been ruled out of the season because of an elbow injury. He has fractured his elbow. He was doubtful for the last game as well, but ended up playing. He struggled, of course, did not make many runs, just a single-digit run knock over there. But MS Dhoni coming back as CSK captain. This is one of the biggest news that we've seen out of the IPL. Just when you thought there couldn't be more drama, this happens. Atrio, your thoughts? How does this change things for CSK and the fans especially?
Firstly, let me say that it's very unfortunate to see Rituraj Gaikwad getting ruled out in this kind of manner. I mean, nobody wants to get injured. I mean, it's the most unfortunate thing that will happen to a sports person in a high-profile event. And he had started the season well. If you remember the first match, he scored a sparkling half century. And to see him getting ruled out is very sad. And at the same time, Gargi Bharat, see, I think whenever Dhoni is in the field for this CSK side, doesn't matter who the official captain is, Dhoni always played a leadership role. I think we were making this point a few days back in one of our shows that whenever Dhoni is in the playing 11, he will play the role of a leader. We saw that happen in the last IPL and I'm not surprised at all that Dhoni is their designated skipper for the remainder of the campaign.
All right. Well, Bharat, what are your thoughts about this? Of course, like Atrio said, it's unfortunate that Ruturaj Gaikwad had to go out this way, but there were other candidates, and it's quite interesting how in the last show that we did at 5 p.m., Saurav Ganguly only a few minutes ago had said that if CSK need anything, it's MS Dhoni's captaincy, and did either Saurav Ganguly knew something that we did not, or he's a great he's great at prophesizing things. What do you think, Bharat?
Yeah, maybe it's just coincidence, or maybe he knew something inside information that he perhaps didn't know. Yes, on one hand, it's unfortunate for Gaikwad. Elbow injuries always persistent. If someone suffers an elbow injury, then it usually takes time. So one can only wish a speedy recovery. The only good thing is Gaikwad is not a fast bowler. Fast bowler and elbow injuries can be very bad. Is at least a batsman, so expect him to recover at least in a few months. But on the other side, yes, CSK is synonymous with MS Dhoni. So I think as soon as Rituraj Gaikwad was rolled out, there was only one candidate, one and only candidate, that is MS Dhoni. Because even when MS Dhoni is not captaining the side, is almost like an unofficial captain. Even if you look at how the franchise functions before any match, it usually feels like MS Dhoni is having a pep talk with some of the bowlers. Once I saw him having a pep talk with Jamie Orton before he I think he played the only game that he played in this season. So he usually has discussions with a lot of CSK players before the game. So he's basically an unofficial captain in that sense. But yes, MS Dhoni is synonymous with CSK. Even when I was during my NBA days, he was the CSK captain. And back in 2025, MS Dhoni again the captain of CSK. So the journey continues.
There are, of course, many comments here. Vian Singh is saying CSK is the worst franchise for a youngster. With a 43-year-old back as a captain, it won't be a surprise that Murli Vijay, Raina, Raidu, Hasi, Bravo, and the others will play for CSK in the IPL next year. Atro, when we think of this decision, of course, there is one part that MS Dhoni is the brand. MS Dhoni is CSK. But the other part is which fans argue, and I have been seeing a lot of debate on social media as well on whether or not this captaincy or this leadership role should have gone to someone younger in the team.
It's a difficult question. It's a difficult question because we are dealing with several factors here. How the franchise wants to run, how the team management, how the owners want to run this system, and how the cricket operation part of it, how that operates. So these are interrelated and yet not interrelated matters. So that way, brand value, as you said, I mean, brand value. I mean, we all know how immense name MS Dhoni is for this CSK side, and so that's impossible to ignore, impossible to overlook. But at the same time, possibly looking at this current setup of this CSK side, I mean, they did not possibly have too many backups for that deputy leadership role. They have senior players, yes. I mean, Ravindran Jadeja is there, who had earlier been given the captaincy, and which was then things changed and all that. There is Ashwin, another very senior figure, and there are a few more. But looking at the setup currently as it is, they possibly didn't have anybody else to fall back on. And whether it's a good thing or bad, only time will tell. But looking at the options they had, looking at the circumstance that they found themselves in, I think this was possibly, I mean, go back to him call and SOS sort of a thing.
Bharat, what's your opinion on this?
Can I just again ask the question because ambulance is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
by? So
No worries. No, everyone on social media, one side is celebrating that MS Dhoni is back as captain, the other saying that it should have been a youngster who took the captaincy role.
yeah, if you ask me logically, I think youngsters should have been the captain because CSK has to look forward. They can't live in the past. MS Dhoni has been a great servant for CSK, but he's now 43, so he's not going to play forever. But as I noted, the other side of it is he's such a huge brand for CSK that maybe outside of MS Dhoni, there's no other candidate when it comes to captaining the side. If someone like Ritraj Gaikwad gets injured, so I can understand where they're coming from. It's such a huge brand for CSK that finally I guess they had to appoint MS Dhoni only.
All right, all right. UK strong Sudeep Dada. Okay. All right. Strong Sudeep Dada is asking Bharat about the pitch report and the weather conditions. I remember you mentioning that the sun was playing hide and seek. What's it like right now, Bharat?
Yeah, it's fine now. No real clouds. It's obviously getting dark, but no real clouds. I think we won't. Hopefully, we won't have rain. Obviously, I'm not an astrologer, but I don't think the rain would play spoil sport.
But
That's what I would
astrologers
feel.
don't predict rain.
Yeah, but I don't think rain would play spoil sport. Looking at the weather currently, because the clouds have, I think, gone away. That those dark clouds. But as far as pitch condition is concerned, I guess RCB would want a good pitch for batting, which is quite hard, so that it can help their pace bowlers like Hazelwood and can help the shot makers like obviously Kohli, Livingstone, Team David, Rajat Patidar and company. But based on what I saw in the first game, there's a little bit of spongy bounce. I don't think that would help RCB. If there's any kind of spongy bounce, then maybe some of their batters will struggle. But generally, what I expect with Chinnaswamy is hard pitch, a pitch where there is even bounce. The batters can play their shots. But another point to add is obviously it's not been a happy and hunting ground for RCB. Chinnaswamy, they only have a something like 40% win percent record here. So that is something that could go against RCB.
Absolutely. Atro, um, let's finish up the CSK comments before we move ahead to talking about RCB DC completely. Vijay Lakshmi has a very I don't even know what to call this, but she's saying CSK should trade KL Rahul next season, release Gaikwad and Jadeja, Ashwin. Acha, okay, release Gaikwad, Jadeja, and Ashwin, and it will release 49 crores. Well, you'll have to get in touch with the CSK management for that. We really can't do
Um,
anything here. Arvind Athreya
uh,
saying CSK. Okay, yeah, Athreya, take this one.
I was saying that not just the CSK management. I think a very specific part of the CSK management, like the chartered accountants, they have to get into all these nitty-gritties. When it comes to specifics like these, I think let's leave it to them.
All right, let's talk about the game now. Bharat, Atra, what I want to ask you guys is RCB zero losses throughout this season, have played three games, one more than Delhi Capitals, but the one that they have lost was in Bangalore, and that remains a problem for RCB. Even though it should suit their conditions, it should suit their team perfectly. They have been unable to make Chinnaswamy their fortress, and does that Bharat, as an RCB fan, does that worry you a little bit that DC also going very strong and RCB losing at Chinnaswamy the last time they were there? Does it worry you?
First of all, I don't know what to say. I'm not exactly an RCB fan. Just a neutral. So let me say that. Point one. Uh, Point two. See, the one thing with the Chinnaswamy is the last match there was spongy bounce. If you noted, there was spongy bounce that is basically the odd ball was stopping on the batter. If you look at it from that perspective, then I guess it doesn't really help the RCB side because the way they have picked, look at the lineup. Virat Kohli plays on the up. Look at Tim David, he plays on the up and through the line. Liam Livingstone, he likes to play on the up and through the line. Rajat Patidar also likes to play to the line. So these batters are all shot makers who just play through the line. So they would want a wicket which is quite hard, which has even bounce. And that is where I think RCB will really come into the equation, RCB's batters. So from their perspective, hopefully it will be good batting wicket where the shot makers can come into play. What happened is Gujarat Titans was they prepared a kind of pitch where the likes of Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj, this kind of bowlers really came into play. Gujarat Titans' strong pace attack came into play, and that really went against RCB because there's a little bit of nip as well up front. So I guess that is one of the reasons why RCB have not been able to have a good record here because they've got pitches which hasn't exactly suited their style of play. And when it has suited their style of play, what has basically happened is the opposition has gone on to chase even 220, 230 because RCB's bowling has come under a lot of pressure. So I think that is the reason why it has happened that in the past. Hopefully, they will get a pitch that is hard, that has even bounced.
Athra, your thoughts on RCB taking on a very, very strong Delhi Capitals led by Shreyas Iyer at Chinnaswamy? Could that be their Achilles heel?
I think it's too early to say if that's going to be their weakest point. I mean, playing at Chinnaswamy. But as Bharat pointed out, that if their winning percentage at home is 40%, then that's a cause for concern because we have seen historically in the IPL, whenever they have been played in India and on this home and away basis, that the team which scored more number of wins in their home matches went on to make it big. So if that doesn't work for RCB, then it's going to be a problem. But having said that, I also think they have the resources to overcome this problem. Yes, the only match they have lost this season was at home, and they won the other three games. And both teams actually, especially RCB, I mean, they won games chasing and defending. So, which shows that possibly. A number of things are working in their favor. And especially for RCB, I think Rajat Patidar, the kind of role he is playing is very inspiring for the team because he is not exactly an international cricket star, and he's still leading a high-profile side like RCB and doing quite well, taking up that leadership position in the batting order. He's coming in at number 4 and striking at 160, 170. So that's a big plus from their side, and I think they'll be very positive. Doesn't matter what happened in the past. They will look ahead and think that they can change the script. What happened in the past?
Bharat, I think Atrok brings up a great point there about Rajat Patidar leading this team. First time ever, and he's been doing phenomenally well. There's a new energy, like you mentioned as well. This is something you said that there seems to be a sort of winning mentality in RCB that we have never seen before. How much of that could be Rajat Patidar at this point?
Yeah, see, he might have not captained the big side, but he has captained Madhya Pradesh in Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy. He captained them actually well, took them to the final where they lost the final, unfortunately. But in that final, he went on to play breezy innings. So he can lead from the front. He's a gritty captain. We saw that against Mumbai Indians, where the way he used Krunal Pandya and Joe Hazelwood in the 20th and the 19th over, that really was a gutsy call because some captains might have gone for Krunal Pandya in the 19th over, who knows. But he went for Joe Hazelwood in the 19th over, that really worked for him. And the bowler was the feet of the batter really well, and it worked for Rajat Patidar. So he's a good captain, but also remember someone like Andy Flower is also the coach. When it comes to franchise cricket, if you look at his record, or for the matter when he coached England to a T20 World Cup victory, or franchise cricket, Multan Sultans or Trent Rockets, or you think of any other side, even Gulf Giants, or for the matter in IPL, he took LSC to a couple of playoffs last year, RCB to playoffs. So he also has that kind of winning mentality. Obviously, Virat Kohli is still in a setup. So there are others who can guide him, who can advise him when it comes to big pressure, handling big pressure. But Rajat Patidar as a captain has been good. He has been making bold decisions, and he's also someone who can lead from the front. Even in domestic cricket, he's a gun player of spin. He's also gun player of pace. And in IPL, the way he has been playing spin bowling, especially leg spin and left arm spin by manufacturing room and hitting it over cover, hitting it over mid wicket. That kind of batting can also galvanize the side. So he can also lead from the front. So there's some good qualities as a captain.
And Rajat Patidar, I think, mentioned this in a video that he did for RCB, where he said that a lot of people obviously know that I'm a good player of spin, but what they don't know is that I absolutely enjoy pace bowling. So Rajat Patidar really makes an all-round batter who can really anchor the innings, also play aggressively. Atreo, his skills have really been on display in the domestic season as well, and now with RCB. And tell me about what you think of his prospects coming back into the Indian side.
See, it's not only about skills, it's also about the situations that he went through. Last year, around this time, I mean, last year in February, January, February, the England Test series, he got his maiden call up to the Indian Test side. He was given 3 Test matches, and he didn't do well after scoring an impressive 30 odd in the first test. I mean, first of his tests that he played. He didn't quite impress, and then he lost his side in that Indian side. That could have been quite demoralizing and shattering for any player. And his start to the IPL last season wasn't very eye-catching either. But after that, he came back. He kept coming back, and he reclaimed the position. So that shows something extra. It's not only about skills. I mean, skills. Those who play at this level, for those who play for India, they all have skills. But you need more than just skills to excel, and that is, I think, mental fortitude, and that is what Rajat Patidar has shown. while playing for Madhya Pradesh, while playing for other domestic sides, and while playing for his IPL franchise, he has shown that he has a lot of courage, a lot of steel. I mean, he can't. I mean, one or two failures do not weigh him down. He finds a way to come back, and that's a great trait for a player. Especially, I mean, when he got a chance to play for India in Test cricket, and then he lost your position over there, and then to still make your presence felt as a frontline batter when cricket is taking place in India is quite an achievement. And hats off to this person. Yeah.
Seems like it's getting dark in Bangalore. Of course, it is everywhere. It's almost 7 p.m. 8 minutes to go for the toss. Bharat, let's talk about the matchups before we take the predictions. But uh, who are you? What matchup are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, obviously Kuldeep Yadav versus Virat Kohli is one, I guess. Although, although Kohli is improved his batting versus spin, someone has struggled against the one that Delhi that goes away from him. So if Kuldeep Yadav can bowl a googly or two, who knows, he might get him. So I think that is one of the matches. Obviously, I'm looking forward to, and I'm also looking forward to in general how Krunal Pandya bowls. Is someone who isn't afraid to bowl even bouncers as a left arm spinner. So that is something that is new to me. Left arm spinners or spinners trying to bowl bouncers. So interesting to see how it goes in this match as well. If the opposition is on a roll.
What about you, Acho? Anything special that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I must begin. I mean, Bharat already mentioned Kuldeep. For me, it's not about Kuldeep against Virat Kohli. For me, it's Kuldeep against anybody. I mean, he's a hugely talented bowler who has a lot of craft and variety in his way of doing things, and he is coming back to himself. I mean, he has understood. I mean, how to do it, and what to do, where to pitch the ball, what exact the amount of the degree of the turn should be, what the pace should be. So those things obviously has worked with others also. I mean, coaches, mentors, friends, and all those people around him. I mean, who helped him get better, develop as a bowler. And Kuldeep has done leaps and bounds. So that's certainly one person. Krunal Pandya, as Bharat mentioned again. I'll also like to see Mitchell Stark. See, Stark,
Yeah.
as we all know, I mean, the start for him in this IPL has been completely different from what it was last season, where he was the highest ever buy at that point in time, and he went for bonkers the first few games, right? I mean, he used to be taken apart for 12 runs, 13 runs per over. But now, this season, we have seen a big transformation. He took 5 wickets in one of those games. It's not easy to do that in 4 overs. So, Stark is also one bowler I would like to look forward to, and so is Josh Hazelwood and quite a few others. I mean, it's the bowlers that I want to look forward to.
Absolutely. There's someone here. Where did it go? We are seeing. Salt will be dismissed by Stark. But this is also a matchup that we'll all be looking
Yeah,
for.
that's a good call. See, Phil Salt is your quintessential modern day T20 player. So it's not someone who will think of activating his back foot or releasing or then pressing forward and playing through the line. Bisaban will just try to clear his front leg and hit it as we saw against Trent Boult. Uh, when didn't try to activate his back foot. What happened was he just Trent Boult went through the line, went through the gap between bat and pad, and castled him in a similar fashion. Mitchell Stark might get him cleaned up, so that can definitely happen. Because as I noted, he doesn't really release his back foot early, just keeps it static on leg stump and then tries to hit through the line. So that can also happen. And another thing that can happen is Mitchell Stark to use a three-quarter seam ball to get it to go away from the right-hander and for him to edge it to the keeper. But the most likely what would happen is Mitchell Stark trying to get him bowled with that in swing.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Any more comments here? Animesh saying Krunal is very street smart. All right, all right. Um, Okay, so I was just looking at what the players had said before the match started, and I was looking at Bhuvaneshwar Kumar's comments, and he said that he's not extremely happy about how the ball is coming out of his hands, but he's not too disappointed about it either. He says that he can do a lot better, but there is room for improvement. Atra, what have you thought of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar in RCB? I think Atra's internet got stuck there. Yes, I believe so. Bharat, why don't you take that question? Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. If you look at some other bowlers, Jofra Archer is getting into swing. Maybe Mitchell Stark is getting a little bit of swing. But Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has not been swinging as much as he wants to, would want to in the first 2 or 3 overs. So in that sense, I can understand where he's coming from. Maybe there's a little bit of tension in his wrist. What happens is when a bowler starts to feel that it's not working for him, then there would be a little bit of tension in the wrist. See, the thing with the bowling is it comes down to your palm here. So you can shape the ball depending on what really your palm says. So if it goes like this, then the ball will be shaping away, or if it is coming if the palm is showing in that direction, then it will come in. So maybe there's a little bit of tension in his wrist, and that is why he's feeling that the ball is not coming out well out of his hand.
Atra, let's take predictions before we find out the toss result. We still have 2 minutes to go for the toss, but looking at the conditions, who do you think has the upper hand? Both teams have a lot of momentum behind them.
Why do you ask me these questions? Uh, anyway, since you do, I'll say I'll go with RCB.
All right, RCB it is. Some more comments. Let's take them. Where did he go? Animesh, I'm looking forward to Yash Dayal. He has improved a lot in the last 1 2 years. I think there will always be this trajectory of Yash Dayal first being hit for 5 6s and then to what he's been doing now. Uh, Atri, you want to say something?
No, no, we'll take this question. After that, I have a question for Bharat. I mean, let's take this question first.
Bharat, Yash Dayal.
Yeah, see, he's learned from harsh lessons in the past. That is what basically he has done. He's got mentally stronger. One thing I guess he has done is to pull his length back. There was a time maybe he was bowling too full. So in the last couple of seasons, he has understood when to pull his length back, when to get it, angle it away from the right hander. So these small things, subtle things, I think he has understood. Maybe he has got all those insights from the coaching staff in franchise cricket or whatever it is, but he has improved in terms of his skills, in terms of his execution, in terms of understanding what he has to do for a particular ball and against a particular batsman. So obviously, in a lot of, I think he has improved significantly.
All right. Okay. Still a little bit time to go for the toss.
I know.
Nothing yet.
I just want to come to Bharat.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
want to
You
come
can
to
keep
Bharat.
asking.
Bharat, we saw those visuals from Bangalore, and those are lovely visuals. And Bangalore is a place which always turns up in good numbers to support their team. Unfortunately, the home crowd in Bangalore has not has not been treated to a lot of success by the whole team from the home team. I mean, we start with the India New Zealand Test match. We all know what happened over there. Then RCB lost their only match that they played over there, and the Karnataka side also didn't do remarkably well in the domestic circuit. But still, we see people coming up in such large numbers. Can you tell us a little bit about this Bangalore crowd? I mean, how it feels to be there and to so many people turn up and to just support for their team.
Yeah, not just their team. I was there during the 2023 World Cup, even for Pakistan, New Zealand, Australia, Pakistan games. There was maybe 70%, 80% stadium had got filled. So that tells that the fans are very passionate about cricket. Maybe even if it is not Indian team, even if it's not the RCB team, even if it's a neutral match, for example, Australia versus Pakistan, you still see fans here. Mexican wave, also you can see. So yes, so they're all passionate fans, and Virat Kohli obviously is very very big here. Maybe a few years ago, AB de Villiers or Glenn Maxwell also had some support, but now Virat Kohli is an even bigger brand than I guess KL Rahul, the homeboy. So not for anything, they will come to support Virat Kohli, even if it's a neutral game. They will come to support Virat Kohli and will shout RCB, RCB when Australia is playing some Pakistan or something on those lines.
That's how it always is. No matter which game you go to in India, there will always be that one fan wearing an RCB jersey every single time. But we have the toss update finally. Delhi Capitals has won the toss and opted to bowl first. So RCB will be put into bat. And RCB are naturally good at chasing, so this will be interesting to watch. Let's see how the battle pans out. Thank you so much, Bharat. It's getting dark. I think you need to go inside as well.
Yes.
Atriyo, thank
Some
you so
light
much
is
for
there.
what?
Yeah, some light is there. I said floodlights are there. So
No natural light, right?
uh,
Only
straight lights
artificial
are
light.
there. Straight lights.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And to everyone who's watching, don't forget to